Welcome to the Unplugged Commons. I'm JR, and this is my introduction to the feature games for July 2026. The feature games are all of the games that we have set up and ready to play when you walk into any of our in-person July game nights. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to all of our commoners who support what we do through supporting us at Patreon. We could not do this without you. And if you're not a patron yet and you would like to become one, head over to the link in the comments down below, and we will love to have you as a part of the crew. You get a bunch of cool extra insider stuff and all of that. But for now, let's dive into the feature games that we have for the month of July. First up is an adorable little card game called Bite Me. This is a shark themed game where every player plays as a shark and you are doing your best to eat the most fish without bursting. So you're playing fish face down. They have different values and you can only hold, I think, a value of 10 total fish in your stomach. So you, of course, can play cards on yourself or on other people to try to manage, but you're also trying to do a little bit of memory because you're not allowed to look at the numbers of the fish in your belly. So there are certain points when you have to check to see what the fish total is, and if your total at those moments is ever above 10, you burst. And it's basically a last shark standing, swimming kind of a game. It's quick, it's fun, the cards are cute, and I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. Next up is an all-play game called Sail. Sail is a two-person cooperative trick-taker game where you are trying to work together to navigate your boat across the ocean that is filled with reefs and islands and krakens and all kinds of stuff. And so you're trying to work together to successfully take some tricks to navigate your boat. It's a short little game. It's really cool. The trick-taking mechanic is right up front, and so it's really easy to kind of catch on and play together. It is only a two-player game. It does play pretty quick, so once you get the hang of it, you can play it a few times and find your perfect shipmate. Next up is Tiny Epic Pirates. This one was actually donated by one of our patrons, Scott, in honor of our pirate-themed July games. If you've never played one of the Tiny Epic games, they're an absolute blast. They're small box, obviously. It's in the name, tiny. They are pretty low barrier to entry, which means they're easy to learn, and they usually have a pretty good amount of strategy, so less reliant on luck. There's a million of these, so you've probably played one before. I know there's like Tiny Epic Galaxy, Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, Tiny Epic Zombies, and a whole host of other ones. They all play a little bit differently, and in this one you are, as you can probably guess, pirates trying to bury the most treasure, and so it's a little race around a little board that you set out. But again, the Tiny Epic games are always great. If you haven't played any of them, you'll really love Tiny Epic Pirates, and I think even among the Tiny Epic games, this one is one of the standouts. So thanks, Scott, and I know you'll be looking forward to playing this one at our July game nights. Kingdom of the Deep is a spiritual sibling to Aquatica, which you've probably played at several of our game nights before if you've been. It was actually a feature game in June. This is another sort of Battle for Atlantis type game. And what's great about this one is there's a ton of simultaneous play in it, which means there's going to be very little downtime at the table. You'll be able to spend most of your time actually playing the game, not waiting for someone else to decide what they want to do on their turn. So Kingdom of the Deep, again, not terribly long. You'll probably play this in a little under an hour. It will play up to 6, and again, because it's simultaneous play, it doesn't really matter the player count. It doesn't really extend the gameplay overly much. So I think you'll really dig this one. It's kind of one of those hidden gems that doesn't get nearly as much love as it deserves, I think. Feed the Kraken is basically werewolf or mafia or secret Hitler, but with pirates. In this game, you're either pirates or sailors, and the pirates are the secret roles that all know each other in this one. And you're trying to, again, not too dissimilarly to Sail, navigate your ship to the correct port. If it's the sailors, you want to go to the sailor port. If you're the pirates, you want to go to the pirate port. And it has, if you've ever played Secret Hitler, a very similar mechanic where it takes 2 or 3 different people to get the decision, in this case, which direction the boat is sailing, correct. What adds a little bit of flair to this game is there's actually a third loyalty, and that is the cultists. In all but the highest player count, there only starts as one cultist, but as the game progresses, they can secretly recruit other players to their cult. And if you're the cult, you want to steer the ship directly into the Kraken so that everyone can sacrifice themselves to the eldritch god who lies at the bottom of the briny depths. Yar. I don't know if that's Davy Jones or Cthulhu itself or whatever, but Feed the Kraken is a lot of fun. Again, it's pretty quick gameplay as a lot of the social deduction games go. There's a lot of shouting and accusation and backstabbing and all of that fun kind of stuff that makes these games great. So I think you'll really dig Feed the Kraken. It's a ton of fun and best played at a high player count. So we'll save these for the nights that we are really packed out. Next up is We're Sinking. This is a fun little slightly asymmetrical game where you are on a pirate ship that is being attacked by various monsters. And you have to make an important decision. Are you going to work to save the ship from sinking? Or are you going to abandon ship, gather as much treasure as you can, and flee? If you decide to work to save the ship and it sinks anyway, then you are going to lose. If you decide to abandon the ship, amass the most treasure, and escape, and the ship ends up being saved, then you lose. The only way to win is to do the best job at whichever of those outcomes ends up actually happening. So there's a lot of risk and reward, and of course, betrayal of other players and things like that. What makes this game really extra fun is the components. Let me show you this amazing pirate ship that comes in the box. Like this. So literally as the ship starts to sink, you actually take pieces of the ship off so you can always track exactly how far down in the water your ship is going. It's really an unnecessary, gratuitous, but entirely enjoyable feature that makes the game extra fun because again, it does sort of end up looking like the ship is sinking down into the board as you're playing. So short game, simple game, the slight asymmetry makes it a ton of fun. And again, the extra components are just a dream. So I think you'll really dig We're Sinking. Last but certainly not least, a game that I have been dying to get to our game night tables for a long time, Captain Sonar. Captain Sonar is basically Battleship for grown-ups. This game is still a 1v1 game, but in this case it can be teams of up to 4. And I gotta say, this is really best played at 8 players, where it is 4 versus 4. Each team commands a submarine, and each person on the team has a different role: captain, first mate, engineer, or radio. Those first 3 roles are working together to try to decide where the ship is going and decide if it can go and what parts of the ship are operational, the engines, the weapons, things like that. They're all working together to repair the ship, to steer the ship, to fire the ship's weapons, and all of that. What the radio is doing, however, is listening to the other team and trying to figure out on their map where the other team is and then relay that information to the rest of the crew, while, of course, the other team's radio is doing the exact same thing. Now, you can play this game where each team takes turns doing their action. So my team goes, and then your team goes, and then my team goes, and then your team goes. But what's even more fun is playing in real time, where both ships are doing as much as they can, as quickly as they can, trying to locate, hone in on, and sink the other sub. This game gets incredibly rowdy, and again, you can play it at smaller player counts, but it is by far the most fun when it is a true 8-person chaotic experience. That's why I couldn't wait to bring it to our game night tables, because even though there's a little bit of a learning curve on this one, when you experience the true, pure, unbridled chaos and fury of an 8v8 or 8-person 4v4 Captain Sonar game, there's really just not another tabletop experience like it, and I can't wait to bring this to the July game nights. There you have it. Those are the feature games that are going to be at our July game nights. Now, you may have noticed if you've already looked at the July calendar that the first part of the month is pretty sparse. That's frankly just because of the World Cup. I think none of the venues in Dallas were prepared for how insane World Cup attendance and viewings were going to be. And so we frankly just had to cancel or postpone a number of our game nights because of conflicts with the World Cup. Sorry about that. We just want to have the very best gaming experience as possible, and we just didn't feel like we could do that at some of these places where it's way too loud and crowded for us to have a truly great experience around the gaming tables. That being said, we also have several special events coming up in July. We have another karaoke event. We have a film watch and discussion of They Live with our Final Cut film discussions. We have our first book club ever, and virtual game night is back. So all of those are already on the calendar. You can already get tickets for those. And of course, if you're a commoner, those tickets are discounted and often even free. So if you've not joined and become a patron yet, there's really no better time to join us in the Commons. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comments which game you're most excited to try out, and make sure to check up our upcoming events so you know exactly when and where we're going to be, because we're going to save a seat for you.